Okay, we are live. We is live, baby. We is alive. All right, y'all. What's up? It's Boujee Oracle Goddess here again. Again, I'm here again. Yes. Y'all know how we have to come back and do our reviews, right? Called sugar punchy pie. All right, let me get my sage ready and everything. So, what's up, y'all? So, this weekend we had two beautiful sessions. Two. All right, the first one we're going to talk about is Sara. We're going to talk about Sara Lois. We're going to talk about her past life regression. Yeah, I'm burning sage. That's why I'm looking down. Open. So we're going to talk about this past life regression with Sara that took place in Virginia. And it was, I got my notes. And the year was 1963, and the exact date was December the 13th. I'm so glad that some of y'all asked the dates, and I mean to ask them in all, but sometimes I can get it right off the bat, and I be meaning to come back to get the dates, but I just be so much going on in these past life regressions, baby, because they just be moving and grooving. All right. So anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Sara's past life regression. All right, let's talk about it. So her past life regression took place in Virginia. It took place in the wintertime. And if I'm remembering correctly, it was also taking place around the time of Christmas-ish, in the month of December, that time, mid-December. So anyway, let's start off by giving a little backdrop. So, well, maybe we won't give a little backdrop. So with this particular past life regression, it's centered around a child within the womb, right? So Sara is pregnant, and she is Lois is pregnant, and Lois. It started out where she was in town, and she was going into this toy store. While she was going into this toy store, there was kind of like a sense of, she didn't say sadness, but she was just in town and she wasn't like the happiest. You could tell that she wasn't the happiest. Hey Kim, you could tell that she wasn't the happiest. So it's kind of like what's going on. So as we move through the scene of downtown area, shopping area type thing, what happened was, thank you for the thumbs up. Oh, she is, I take her from downtown when she first entered into the past life regression. And then we go from downtown to, she's in a place that is like a home, right? Outside of a home. And she did say that she was kind of like in a garden area. So basically, even though we took her from downtown, we went to the next scene. And in the next scene, she was in the backyard. Now, I'm not for sure because I didn't ask. I don't remember asking if it what the weather was like, because she was outside and she was looking in a space where maybe there was a garden, but the garden didn't have anything growing there, I don't think. And then there was a back shed that had tools in it. She said she pretty much hadn't used it that much. But as a sense, what was gathered is that she just kind of lost a little hope for a lot of different things and for reasons that are upcoming. So as we move it through the backyard, we realize that she is actually outside backyard. There's a porch to the backyard, and she's actually going to go into the house. So in the past life regression, I progress her to going into the house, taking a look around, telling me about it. And because this was 1963, I don't know that she didn't have a washer dryer. And I can't remember if 1963 people had washer and dryers. I don't know. I just ain't sure. But there was a big, large wash tub. It was white. Y'all know sometimes when you go into like laundromats or even some homes, they have this big ass square white thing with the knob where you put the water in this and it goes into the sink and you can wash your clothes on hand like that. So it was one of those kind of tubs. What's crazy is that when she was saying it, I could see it, right? So she told me about that. So that was cool. So then the next thing I know, she is uh telling me about the washer space, etc. Kind of like a wet room, right? It was like a wet room. If any of you know what that is, kind of like close to the mud room. Mud room is where, like, when you come in the house, you leave your shoes, you hang your jacket up, etc. Right there. That's like a mud room, right? Um, so anyway, we move her through the house, and she tells me that she lives there with her sister. So she lives there with her sister, and her sister does something in town. She's like a seamstress. She does something with clothes, making clothes, something, right, tailoring, etc. So the next thing I know, I progress her on to her room, or she goes on to her room. So as she's in her room, uh, I tell her to give me, like a look around. So basically, she says her room is just plain looking, nothing spectacular, But she mentions the boxes that's in this corner. Bing, 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 bing. Y'all know me, right? Here's the thing. Even though I have a past life regressionist panel that has 4 guides on it, there are some things that, even with my own intuition and my own gifts, that allow me to maneuver, assist them in moving around the past life regression environment, right? So when she said there are some boxes, over in the corner, and she don't really want to bother with them, don't want to bother them, I was like, what's in there? What's in the box? Nosy me. What's in the box? But I knew the boxes were significant for something because they were pushed in the corner. And when I asked her, she basically said that there was a box that had some things like some clothes and stuff like that, right? Now, here's the thing. At that very moment, when I asked her about the boxes, she didn't want to go into the boxes. But she did mention there was some things like some clothes and stuff like, oh, nothing, much bougie. It's just some boxes over there. But little did she know she was about to enter these boxes upon my request. All right. And of course, she's entering the boxes too because she needs to know what's in it, because this is the seat. This is the seat of the past life regression right here in these boxes. Now, when a person is up under hypnosis, they may not necessarily know the things around them or whatever's going on is their maneuver, because they're up under hypnosis. But the soul knows, the higher self knows. It knows. What's up, trust? The soul knows why we were taking her to this particular, no, why I guided her. They took her. Her team, her inner child, her higher self, her guides took her to this lifetime. They know. I'm just facilitating and assisting her and moving around, looking over here, looking up there. That's what I do. I just like, go over there, go over there, open that up, close that. So that's what I do, right? That's what a person who is a facilitator of a past life regression does. They literally lead, but allow the person who is there also to be leading. So we're accompanying, but we are definitely facilitating. All right, so she gets to the boxes. She opened these boxes. Boom, here we go. What's in there? She said, I count down and ask her to open to see what's in the box. So she pulls out, she said there's some clothes in there. But I knew we had to go deeper. I just know these things. They just come to me. So I said, I want you to open the box and pull something out. I didn't say clothing. Pull a piece of clothing out. No, no. There was a reason why. It could have been some clothes in there for her, right? It could have been. But I needed her to reach in there and pull something out because I don't know what's all in that box. Now, her consciousness knows what's in that box. So I asked her to pull out something in the box. You know what she pulls out? Boom, a baby rattle. Okay, she pulls the baby rattle out. I know that is significant, but she did say that there's something in that box that it was a part of her life that could have been. She did. Well, I am paraphrasing. Okay, so she pulls out the rattle out of the box, and here we go. And I asked her about the rattle, about the child, and she said that the child didn't come through. She didn't deliver because there was some complications. Boom, I already know something else is going on. Why was there complications? This is a place of healing, something around this area. So I was trying to, y'all hold on just a second. I was trying to get it. I was trying to let her know that I was going to be on the live in case she wanted to come in. Give me a second, y'all. I hate to kind of divert. I apologize, y'all, in advance, because I actually didn't know I was going to be doing this review, but then boom, here we go. We are here. Uh, uh, Sorry, y'all. I'm just gonna let her know I'm talking about your video live. Okay, perfect. That way, if she's available and she wants to stop by, she can. All right, so let's get back into it. Hey, Natalie. So listen, let's get on to it. So we are actually in the room. She's taking out the baby rather, and she's taking a look at it. So all of a sudden, what's happening? So she did say it was a part of her life that could have been, right? Not much. And I asked her, start to go a little bit deeper into that. So we pretty much figure out for number one, she's a Native American, right? And I didn't think to ask, but I would see this is how I remember just different types of questions to ask. Her I guess the baby's father, his name was Luke, but I didn't get to ask what his ethnicity was. I didn't get to ask that. I'm looking for that, and I didn't ask that. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. Now she was 7 months pregnant when she lost this baby, right? So we talk about. I needed to talk a little bit about that so I could see what needed to be healed around this. And basically, she didn't get to have the baby. She didn't have any other children. She never took another mate. I guess even a love interest. And so, as we are moving through that, what I realized is that um, there was something around this baby. What happened? So, as she tell me that she was 7 months pregnant at the time when she had is the same at the time that she lost the baby. Um, I took her back to 6.5 months just to kind of get a feel of what was going on around that time. All right. Um, so when I realized that I want to take her back, I realized that the baby soul whisperer, boom, I just knocked that door down because I knew it was something back behind door number one, door number two, and even door number three if I wanted it to be. Okay. Meaning, once I knew that the baby did not come through, baby souls always talk to me. We be chopping it up, okay? So I was like, let's go and get through this door right here. Let's go. So I asked Sarah to step back and I asked the baby soul to come through. Baby, mic drop. Boom jaga, boom jaga. That baby came right on through and spoke to me. So I asked the baby soul. There were some other questions. Listen, when I try to stay focused on their healing, and I would be wanting to ask my own selfish questions. So yeah, it should be hard as hell. Because first of all, I want y'all to understand. For me, as a past life regressionist, my job is to facilitate the healing, the information, the linking of the souls, so that they can be in touch of what was, even if it's happening simultaneously. And that right there is for the next video. Okay, we ain't finna get into that. So I try not to be selfish and ask questions that I want to know for me. So I just go ahead on and move on. But the next baby soul I encounter, I'm gonna have some questions I need to ask. Okay. So if you are coming to me and you're having a past life regression, just know there are some questions that I want to have answers. Ain't nobody saying, Boujee, come on, take a past life regression. Ain't nobody giving me one. I'm out here handing out. You get a past life. 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 But I be want to know stuff too, right? Okay, so as I'm facilitating, I ask you things, your higher self, your guides, your Akasha, uh, a representative. I ask some questions that I want to know about me. I do that. I can do that. Okay, ain't got nothing to do with you. Sometimes I be want to know some stuff. Okay, so how else am I gonna get the information, right? Can I go into meditation to get it? Yeah, but y'all be having such a vivid picture. And let me tell y'all something. When y'all hit that Akasha, for most of y'all, I literally can see what you are seeing, and that shit is lit as hell, right? I never said that I never said that, but for most of y'all, I can see what y'all seeing. That shit is beautiful. Okay, now that don't mean every day I walk around seeing it when people are talking to me seeing, but I have had conversations where I was talking to somebody that was riding the vehicle with me. As they was telling me a story, I saw each time they was telling me what they was telling me, and we passed the exit 3 times. We're supposed to get bent off the fucking exit. And because they're talking, I'm literally not paying attention either because I'm seeing what they're saying. Shit is lit. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so I asked the baby soul to step forward. The baby soul steps forward, and I asked the baby soul about its mom and what happened. And the baby's now the mother Lois said she had complications with the pregnancy. She didn't say she failed. Uh-uh. So somewhere in there, they drew a, you know how when people are abused, they just bury it, bury it, bury it, bury it. So they just knew something, but they don't know what. All right. So it's as the baby soul gets acclimated with being there, I try to take my time with it, right? I'm always being mindful of the energy that the presence of whoever is there that is in the non-physical. I'm always because I know because I work with my own guides and I know everything is frequency. I know this. So when I'm talking with my guys, I know sometimes when I'm holding my pen and it's taking a little minute, I was like, Lord, can you get on the interstate first, taking the back road? Sometimes it takes a minute. If it's a guide I've never worked with before, sometimes it may take longer for them to connect to the pendulum because there's frequency from where they are to get here, their energy, right? Okay. So anyway, I'll keep going. And I asked the baby soul, um, hold on. I asked the baby soul why he chose Lois and why he chose Luke. He chose Luke, the father, because it was a soul contract that the two of them had. I asked the baby soul, did he pick his mother because they had a soul contract? Now, he didn't have a soul contract with his mother, but he had one with the father. But he chose Lois because how gentle she was, right? Okay. Now, because the baby, I want to be clear about this. Because the baby soul had a contract with the father, it knew before it came here that it was not going to come through delivered. It knew that, right? Okay. Now, baby souls know more than what fuck we know. They up there chopping it up. Any, meeny, miny, mo, who we gonna pick? If I pick that one, yeah, I want to learn that lesson over there. Now maybe that, and just a lot of stuff, right? I found that out when working with them. So he picked his mama because of her gentle nature. All right. So moving on, we talking and we chopping it up. So the baby soul tells me that the reason that he picked his mom and his dad, right? Um, and I asked the baby soul, what happened? Why was it not why did it not come to pass? Why didn't it come earthbound? And the baby told me that there was a lack of oxygen. Don't play with them. Don't listen here. If you women out there, you pregnant, let me just say this. Be mindful of the shit you say while you're pregnant. Be mindful of the things that you think while you're pregnant. Be mindful of the actions that all of that, okay? Because them baby souls is in tune. They tuned in, turned on, and tapped up, okay? So he said that there was a lack of oxygen. Now I want you to wrap your head around this. So some of y'all gonna come across this video and you're gonna be like, what you saying? You heard what I said. I was talking to the baby soul that did not make it. And the baby soul told me the reason that it didn't make it. In the video, go and look at it. Sara, okay, from Virginia. The reason the baby did not make it is because it was a lack of oxygen. What caused the lack of, listen, Boujee, she just, we're going to drill all the way down because we want to know. She needs to know for the healing. So basically, the baby lost oxygen because the mother fell down some steps. Now, I didn't ask the baby so, and I meant to, but I got so wrapped up in talking and finding out that we better find out what happened. I forgot to ask this important question. If you remember, if you saw her video, Lois, she had already told me that there was a one-story house. So where did the steps come from? Now, the steps could have been in the basement. It could have been the steps that led from inside to outside. It could have been she was someplace else and there was some steps. I don't know. I didn't ask. So, As I do these past life regressions, it reminds me of some things that I really want to ask and probably should ask, right? Just knowledge wise. So the baby said the mother fell. Okay, already, boom, right back here. You got this whole PLR panel. Boosh. Drill on down. Keep going. Okay. Automatically just comes to me. Baby soul, you are connected vibrationally to your mom. And anything on the outside of the perimeter you can feel, you can hear. Pretty much, I'm paraphrasing what I said there, but I know what I said. I want you to tell me. I think I asked it, was there anyone else in the home? Or I asked it, how? After I found out that the baby fell, I said, how did she fall? Baby, y'all know what she said, what he said. My mama was pushed. Paraphrasing again, she was pushed. She was pushed. Somebody pushed her. The mother was pushed from some stairs, and when she fell, the baby lost oxygen. So, baby soul, I want you to take a feel around the perimeter of where you are in the mama's womb because you're connected to vibration and you're connected to your mom and everything around. Even if the mother was not sure who pushed her, there would be an awareness somewhere around her. There would be some type of awareness. Like if somebody, if you're standing somewhere by yourself and somebody walk up about this close, how you, because they stepped into your, this right here is part of your auric field. So if somebody stepped this close, you're gonna feel them. That's why sometimes when you're standing in the line and there are 5 people behind you, you feel somebody staring a hole in you. You turn around and look, not at the person right behind you, but you kind of look over, back behind you, 3, 4 people down, there's somebody just staring a hole in you because they can actually literally penetrate your vibrational auric field. That's a real deal. So I asked the baby soul, what happened? She was pushed. I asked the baby soul, who pushed your mama? Baby soul knows. Baby soul's vibrational feelers are more aware than ours are. That's why a baby would know his mother if 5 people were in the room singing. And because a mother is used to singing to her son or to her daughter in the womb, they know the voice, even if they are on the same key. They know the mama. Okay? All right, let's keep it Persian. She was pushed. Who pushed her? Luke. What? Her boyfriend, boo thing, whatever. He pushed her down the steps. Baby soul, we'll take you back just a little bit further. Down like, okay, here it come. Sort of off to the side. Drill. Drill. Because see, Sara taught me that. To drill. I ask her questions and it'd be a surface answer. And I'd be like, okay. And then something happened and it's not that that wasn't it. I was like, what happened, Sara? Was I was supposed to ask more questions? Yeah. You gotta drill down. Okay. Damn it. Okay, so anyway. So I asked the baby soul another question to drill down even further. I asked the baby soul, we're gonna go back, I think maybe a few months before, whatever, something like that. It's like, I think I asked the baby soul, why would Luke, your father, push your mother down the steps? Basically, because he wasn't ready for the responsibility of being a father. So he pushed her. And it was traumatizing to the mom that she did not remember. She said complications with the pregnancy. She never said, I had an accident, I failed, none of that. So I knew she did not know that. That was something she had blocked out. There's trauma. Okay. So I asked Baby Soul, I said, Baby Soul, look like I know Baby Soul, like Quintarius, Monique, Little Mama, Baby Soul. Did you have a soul contract with your father? Yes. Boom. Baby Soul, did you have a contract with your mother? No. Interesting. So, Baby Soul, what was the soul contract with you and your father? It was to teach him that he would miss things that were, I think, valuable to him, or that something like that. Like it was a lesson in it. And I think I asked the baby soul, "Did you know that you would not make it?" And I think the baby soul told me yes. It was so much connected to that damn shit. I was zoomed in like this. So I'm asking questions and I'm trying to log it as I'm answering it. And I'm trying to keep look at these notes. I'm trying to keep notes at the same time. This shit was crazy. All right. So we found out why the baby soul did what the baby soul did. And we found out why the father did what he did. And I allowed the baby soul to, to step back and to let the mother come forward. When the mother come forward, I asked basically, did you hear basically what your son just said? And she said, yeah. Um, so we had to do some healing around that. And then we also had to do some healing around her heart because ultimately the cause of her death was because she died in 1950. Women don't know. She didn't die. She died at the age of 92. Yeah, so it was to improve the lesson that was to improve communication with the mom and Sarah. Was that the lesson? Yeah. Or was that her mother? No, that was her. Okay. Then she had a sister who was actually her cousin in this lifetime named Jocelyn, and her name was Louisa. Okay. Yeah. So her mother passed in 1954. That's right. And their sole contract was to work on communication. Sarah and her mama, Louisa and her mama. Sarah herself, she passed in 1980 from heart-related problems. It was heartbreak from losing the child and what Luke did to her. Like she never recovered from that. And that's why it's so important um, when these things happen, us to try to move through them. I know that's easier said than done verbally wise, but when you can bounce back as soon as possible, it's good versus being it taking a long time. Okay. All right, let's talk about something else we happen with that. Let's talk about our spirit guides. Did anybody have any question? If you haven't seen the video, did any of y'all have a question? Um, when she talked about the Akasha, it was like it was cool and quiet, cool like temperature wise and quiet, and it was a light blue type. She said, did she say mist or it was light blue, like, and uh, and it felt energetic. She said, okay, and as far as the ceiling, it went up. It just never ending, never ending. It just went on and on and on. But one of the questions that I had her to ask one of the Akasha librarians, so I use librarians very loosely because some use the word librarian, some use keeper of records, some it was what was the other one that I've heard? Uh, guardians, keeper. I did quite a few, but I can't even remember what the other ones were right at this moment. All right. So the point is, the Akasha will look the way a person might envision. So, for example, however, some people say library. Sky said a building that she went into. Randy said it was this big ass tree. Like it was like a tree house, like you walking into this motherfucker, right? And she said it just kind of went round. So everybody's visual of what the Akasha looks like has to do with whatever you could feel like it could look like, but not really. At the same time, is what you see. It meets you where you are. It meets you where you are. Now, um, her mom met her there in the in the spirit world. She did say when she was leaving her body, I asked her what it felt like. She did say that it felt like she said it felt strange leaving her body. Well, I bet. floating building at that. Right. Okay. So when you think about that, what they feeling as they're floating, leaving their body, just energy, just headed soul, just headed up. All right. She did ask, what else? Some of these people that she saw in the past life regression, not in the past life regression, that she saw in spirit world. So she had seven guides. Three of them were male, the rest was females. Um, she did have some cousins that were part of her uh, council. Um, and what they did tell her was to continue her gardening, and that might have something to do with her sacral or either her solar plexus. And they also told her to get to them books, get to it. Like they still there. She and I have had a conversation about these books because she had a reading from me too. These books come up each time. Each time we have a reading, those books come up, and they came up in her akasha. So we asked the librarian, what was it that um, what was it about the books? How many books was it supposed to be? And they told her six. They could be separate books about something different, or six she could tie them together, so it could be like a series. So she knows she has her work cut out for her. Now, this akasha librarian, he was 823 years old, earthly years. I asked him to give it to me in earthly years. Okay. Uh, he also had been outside of being in the Akasha. He also had lived in, or do we want to say lived? He spent time in Jupiter. Okay. Um, yeah, that was a beautiful one. What else? Was it anything else? I asked her. Every single question that she put down for me, I asked her. Now, for Lois, aka, hold on. I was trying to see if she sent me something. It seemed like something came across my screen. Give me a second, y'all. No, that wasn't her. Okay, make sure. No. So she also, for her meeting with her guides, she ended up on the auditorium stage. So she was on the stage out front, and her guides sat back here. It was a total of 79. But there were five of them that did most of answering the questions for her. She had 79 guides, 79, five of which answered the questions for her. They was ready. Okay. Um, Now, three of her guides, uh, they didn't give names, uh, but the ancestor has been with her for the reasons around protection. I'm going to say this because when you have these ancestors that are about protection about you, that could go really deep. I didn't go deep with it, but I really wanted to. But I'm looking at my questions and I'm looking at my clock. I'm looking at I try to stay on course, y'all. But these past life regressions that end up being 5 hours, and then y'all only end up seeing maybe, not maybe, 2 hours and 2 hours and some change. I have to do a lot of editing to get it to that, because I'm trying to see as I advance through the videos, I'm trying to see what would the people want to see, what is important, what would be lesson wise. It would be like, whoa, wow, and also uh, I do respect a certain amount of autonomy around some of these uh, questions that I ask. So some of these videos, they don't even have questions in there because they don't need to be there. So imagine me doing a past life regression for 4 point something to 5 hours, and then having to go in there and edit out parts that because I can remember, and I look at my sheet what don't need to be seen by y'all. That's a lot of work because you got to fast forward. Oh, you missed that. Oh shit, got to go back. Oh, was that before that? Was a girl. So it's a lot. But if you notice here lately, I'm caught up. So I've been staying on top of it. But in the beginning, when I first started editing them videos, baby, they was giving me hell to pay. I was like, damn. But it's all about what I feel needs to be included for the masses to see, not just today or a week ago, but the entirety of that video being up. So I do respect that. I do, even though you give up your privacy when you volunteered. Those of y'all that did the volunteer sessions, even though you give that up, I do respect a certain amount of privacy. Now, if you did a live video, now we're talking about something totally different. But there is within YouTube Studio where I could go in there and edit some out, but I haven't done that for those two that went live, and that was Gabby and that was San. So I didn't bother with that. I just left them there because when they want to go live, it's like they like, shit, I don't care, put out there whatever you want, shit. We just about to go bust it wide open. Okay. That's pretty much what they're doing. So all of their stuff is there. Okay. So getting back to this auditorium, she did say that she was quite shocked when she saw herself under hypnosis on a stage with her guide sitting back there in the audience because she's kind of shy and she didn't want to be center stage. She don't like to be center stage of nothing. This is what she said. So I know this for a fact. So I found it very interesting that they put her center stage. So your guys will put you in places where you don't even want to do. Let me be clear about what I mean. I'm gonna use myself for an example. All right. I asked before we started these past life regressions, do any of these people have any kind of negative attachments, negative entities? And they told me no. Boom, right out the gate, Randy got two. What the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Well, we're here for you. Let's go. Chop, chop, stop. So when she told me that, I'm just going to divert for me. When Randy told me that, well, no, she was Randy, but she wasn't Randy. When I found out that her higher self told me she had to, my man, I got the bubble guts, bubble guts, bubble guts. I was like, what am I supposed to do? But I kept my cool. Y'all would have never known it. I'm always aware that the camera is on me, and I'm always aware. I try to be aware because I'm looking at me now, and I'm aware of facial. Uh, what do you call them? Facial making faces. I'll be like every now and then it'll slip out. Y'all might see me like, but I try to be professional and keep it like, okay, tell me more. What else do you see? Right? But that should be so hard sometimes. So anyway, they told me no. Let's talk about that. I'm going to divert for just a second. Just because a person has an attachment does not mean that the attachment is negative energy. It just doesn't belong there. Does not mean that the energy that is negative is an entity. No, ma'am. No ham, no spam. See, so I didn't ask that. That's another drill down thing that I didn't ask Sara. Okay, I didn't ask her that. I just used those words. So did they have attachments? Oh yeah, they got attachments. Okay, but it's nothing. You keep pushing, but they're not negative. They're not entities. It's none of that bullshit. Just keep going, right? At least they haven't been so far. Okay. Now, I want to be clear from the time I asked her that question till now, that only applied from the time I asked the question until the time, that's it, up until that time. Now, let's say hypothetically, energy say, we're going to use Mr. Earl, who said he had been there 15 years. No. Did he say 50 years? Yeah, I think he said he'd been there 15 years. No, Michael, the little boy, he'd been there 15 years. When I tell you there was something so loving about him because he was looking for his mother. So here you have a soul that is earthbound attached to a body that didn't leave and go to the light because he was looking for his mother because his mother had cancer. So somewhere within that soul's thinking, it thought that it could look for its mother, but it didn't know where to go. So it attached to Randy. Why did it attach to Randy? Okay. Y'all, because if you know Randy, she's just went through some things. Same thing his mother went through, right? And because of the way she's loving, That is the reason why. And so was his mother. So do you see the correlation, right? All right. I diverted. So my point is that there are going to be times when I run into things that I just keep my cool and we just gonna walk on through this. Okay. It may appear like it's a piece of cake, but in my mind, I'm asking 1,000 questions at light speed, and I got guides that's right there. I'll be like, go ahead. We got you. No, no, you don't need to ask about that. Go keep going. Yeah, that one. Ask that question right there. Go on. Boujee asked such and such. Don't forget to ask that. And some of this does not come from my guides. It comes from your guides. Trickle down to mine, and I receive that. Can your guide speak to me? They don't need permission to speak to me. If you gave me permission to do this past life regression, I have permission to speak to them. Okay. And they want me to. So I address whoever needs to be addressed accordingly. And it's such a cool thing. All right. So we're going to get back on track. All right. So while she was there asking those questions, it was just amazing how afterwards to hear her talk about how she didn't like being center stage and they put you right in there. And that correlation was me. Like, y'all, I don't really want to, I really don't want to work with no attachments. Let me get some sperm up on my belt first. Can we wait? Hell no. Boom, right out the fucking gate. You got to be kidding me. Yes, you lying. Oh, nigga. Is this for real? Wait a minute. You don't give me no chance to pump the brakes. You don't give me a chance. I don't get no cue. The first one right out the gate. No practice, no nothing. What this is your practice. This is your practicum. This is your residency. It's where you get it all. That would be Wushi. It would be Francis and Raziel. The three of them. Of course, male energy. Let's get to it. What the fuck? So anyway, that's where we were. Right. So I say this to say there are going to be experiences that some of you have in these past life regressions. Experiences that you don't want to face, that you don't want to see, that you just don't want to, and they're going to walk your ass right up to that front door, and that's where you're going to be. The difference is the higher self is not going to let you dismiss that because it knows you need a healing from that, and it knows that you need to conquer this fear from that, or something being absent, or something being uh, what else would be another word, dealt with, etc. So it's going to walk you right up to the front door. Y'all, if y'all remember, Empress in her past life regression, she was going to New Jersey. So she thought she ended straight up in Australia. Like, what? Yes. So my point is that you could think you're going somewhere and you have a feel for it, but that's not where you're going. This is where you're going. Okay. Yeah, you can get some healing from that in your mind as you begin to think about these things because you're connected as well. But your higher self and your team can hijack that and take you to a whole other freaking place. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. What else was there? Uh, I think that's all that I have for y'all on that. Now yo, her inner child's name is Nova. And so, like, what was that for, Nova? Because Nova the superstar? What? Yeah, that's why I named myself that. You got to be kidding me. And so it went on to talk a little bit about that. I was like, wow, okay. The higher self's name was Mia. It was just like beautiful the way they kind of laid it out to her, the things that they said that she needed to do. Um, Now, she didn't necessarily have to have any additional past life regressions unless she wanted to. Some people, y'all, seen that they had a number for them, their higher self or their team, or a combination of that they needed to do this, or that. Okay. What else? So there was one of her guides. It was a high-ranking guide, and that guide gave their name, but their name technically was frequency. When I say frequency, it's you pronounce it in frequency, and but it did give a earthbound name spelling that they could use. Okay. So while I was asking her the guide's name, it came to me that some guides are going to have names that are spelled with earthbound alphabet, but also symbols. Okay. Yeah, that. But also, too, in asking that question about the guides, which she had 13. She had 13 of them. When asking the names, somebody's session, I can't, was it hers? Yeah, it was hers. I think I asked them, I asked the guy if they could, if the name was frequency, in frequency pronounced. I asked him if they could pronounce it for me, like mimic it, right? Just nosy as hell. I want to know what it sound like, but they didn't. And I think it was like not right now, not this time, or something like that. So it's gonna come back up around. It's gonna come around. I already don't know whose session that's gonna be in, but it's gonna come up. All right, that's all I got for y'all. I just wanted to come in and to have that past life regression review of Lois and Sarah, and yeah, we did that. So I have the next one is for San, but San is not here. And that is a must. She has to be here for that one. So she's gonna let me know when. She reached out to me to let me know that she would. We're gonna get together. We're gonna chop it up on that one. So in case y'all don't know, here's the trailer. San had a past life regression, in case you didn't know. And she had two past life regressions going on at the same time. They was going on at just like this, going on at the same time. When I tell y'all, my look at that. Just look at that at the bottom. Just look at that. Girl, I was trying to keep up. Whew. But it was so amazing, so beautiful. If you have not seen that, you need to go see it. So y'all can only imagine when I am trying to chop these videos up, chop out what don't need to be there, and chop out this and bring that in. This is a lot of editing. Because she went live, which that was not the intention. She was supposed to be going uh, regular, and it was until the day I was on the Zoom waiting for her. She's like, "Well, I want to go live." I was like, "Oh, "I didn't even set up for that." She's like, "Sis, if it's okay with you," I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's okay." Then you gotta give me a minute because now I got to get everything together, right? So I had no idea. So this is another example of something you could be led to go one way, need to go the other way, right? Okay. All right. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions? Are y'all enjoying the past life regression so far? I'll start taking appointments starting April. The date is the books are open now. April the 19th is the first open if you want to have a past life regression. These are not volunteer; these are paid sessions. So if some of y'all feel like y'all need to pay it as in uh y'all need if y'all some of y'all feel like y'all need to break y'all's payment up, you have to let me know that. Because I don't have a website and I only use the booking site, it only allows me to take payment in full. However, I can make it where you have to cash app it to me, in payments. We're not doing any more than splitting it up in two. Excuse me. Be sure you want to do it because there are no refunds on these services. Because baby, this is a lot of energy spent facilitating these amazing past lives. Okay, I'm just saying. We still have I think I still got like 7 more. Hold on, hold on, y'all. Oh, it's right here. Okay. All right, y'all. We got one this weekend. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 more to go of the past life regressions of the people that signed up and actually made appointments. We do. At one point, I was thinking about going back and letting some of those people who missed the cutoff do one, but I'm not because I've done enough of these. And then sometimes you have to be at a place where you're willing to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in information and knowledge that you want at times. Everybody had the same amount of time as the ones who are having the past life regressions and the ones who scheduled. It was the same time for everybody, right? Okay. Sometimes if you snooze, you lose. Some people, I send an email to them, they don't even respond till weeks later. And they're like, "Oh, I just now I didn't get the email. Somebody told me that we need to go in and you changed to all mornings for your past life regression. I said, yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Oh, I didn't get the email. Oh, you did. And then I had the screenshot where I sent the email to them. And then they come back. Oh yeah, I did see it. It was way down. So if you ever sign up for a session for me, be on top of your email. I'm not gonna coddle the email. I'm not gonna bait. I don't have y'all. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on. I really do, and I cannot do that. I'm actually okay. All right. I love y'all. I really do. But at some point, accountability is really good for y'all. Okay. All right. There's been times where I'm supposed to be on attend somebody's live. I freaking miss it. I don't expect them to reach out to me. Hey, girl, I'm gonna be live. No, I don't have time. They don't got time for that. It could be spur of the moment. They just sad to do it. They ain't got time to just reach out to me. I ain't that special. Okay. Now, I'm just saying that because it's important to stay on top of. If you know you signed up for something, to stay on top of. Listen, I signed up for somebody's Zoom class on Sunday. They said the link that they put in the email was different from the link that was actually in the Zoom. And I couldn't even access the class. Now I'm trying to reach out to the person. I don't really want to have to be ugly and call my bank and say, listen, I didn't get to have a service. I want to be refunded. I'm trying to work with them. I need them to respond. But if you don't respond to me, then I'm like I'm going to jack your money. Now, you lucky ain't one of them low down. Well, I ain't going to say low down. She lucky ain't one of them people that want to air your dirt out. Like, you did this and here's my receipt. I paid for it. Here's a receipt saying that you was actually in another Zoom. So basically you gave some people one, and I was in the live the other day, and there was another person said the Zoom link that I get said that you was in another live. She ain't lying because it said it to me. So now we got at least 2 people that didn't show up. And you should know that. So either give them their money back, or for me, just tell me when your next class is, but I'll be there. I know stuff happens. Accident happens. All right. So the difference was I was on my shit and was there early, but couldn't get in. I tried for 45 minutes. And after a while, I was like, you know what? We is not getting in this Zoom. Okay. All right, y'all. Do y'all have any questions for me? Oh, also, after this weekend, I'm gonna be posting. I'm gonna be posting people that want. I need to go back and look at that. I think I made a post on one of my lives that if you're wanting to have a group session of meeting your having conversations with your spirit guides and or ancestors, if you want to be part of that, that's limited seats. I'm gonna do one of those. All right. Keep that in mind because I'm gonna post it this weekend sometime because I got a session Saturday and Sunday. But sometime this weekend, I'm gonna allow people to sign up for that. Now I'm gonna select those. Everybody ain't gonna get in it. Everybody ain't gonna get in it. Okay. So if that's on your mind, you need to holler at your spirit guide. Look here, Rusha. I would love to chop it up with you. Can you make sure Boujee pick me? I'm just saying, y'all. Just really being silly. All right. Anybody have any questions? If you don't, I want to thank y'all for coming and stopping by for the preview of going over Lois and Sarah's past life regression. But that's all I got for y'all. Anybody have any questions about anything? No? Yes? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, y'all. Thank you to the ones who hit the like button. Thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up on the Facebook side over there. I think, Kim, you're the only one I know you hit it. Kim always hit it. Thank you for hitting that. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all have a good evening. What time is it? I need to get my walk in. It's 6:18 now. I knew I should have waited to do this live, but because I always get chatty. All right. But anyway, y'all have a beautiful day. Y'all take care.